What if I told you that while Toronto prices are down 22% from the 2022 peak, there are 5 specific neighborhoods where you still have to fight other buyers just to get a foot in the door? Everyone thinks the market is in total deep freeze because citywide averages are down 5% since last year. But the real data shows a massive split. While some areas are sitting stagnant, freeholds in these 5 pockets are seeing bidding wars and are selling over ask by up to 14%. Making a move based on general city headlines is a dangerous assumption. If you use a down market tactic in a bidding war neighborhood, you're making the wrong move at the wrong time. By the end of this video, you will know the 5 hottest neighborhoods in the city of Toronto that are defying the trends and the exact steps you need to win the multiple offer scenario today. Okay, so before we start talking about the 5 neighborhoods where there are multiple offers, let me give you an overview of the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board map. So if you take a look at the screen here, you'll see a whole bunch of letters, but pretty much it's split into 3 sections. You have the central area, which is known, you can see they're labeled as C, C1, C2, C3. And then you have the east, which is E, and then the west, which is the W that goes till the end of Etobicoke. And then the E ends all the way out to the end of Scarborough. So I'll show you the 5 neighborhoods where there are currently multiple offers to get these houses. And we'll start with detached properties. So if you take a look at the map there, you'll see W01, W02, E1, 2, and 3. So on the west side, the hot areas where you're getting multiple offers, and I'll show you the numbers in a little bit more detail. High Park is an area where there's multiple offers. Roncesvalles is another one. And then north of the Bloor, you got parts of High Park as well as the Junction where we're seeing multiple offers. On the east end, so east of DVP, you have Leslieville, which is a strong area where we see natural progression from, young buyers who start in the condo space in Distillery, Canary, in St. Lawrence Market, move east to that Leslieville pocket where they're still close to downtown and you have access to the water. And then eventually they migrate up north when they start their families into Plater Estates and North Riverdale. So E1, you got Leslieville. Down south, you have South Riverdale, Withrow Park, just on the south of Danforth, that strong area. Plater Estates and some pockets of East York, where you have multiple offers. And then E2, you have the beach or the beaches, it depends which side of the fence you fall on, and the upper beach area. Those pockets on the detached properties are seeing multiple offers. They're good location, good schools, they're walkable, there's transit, relatively close to downtown. Now, we all know Toronto traffic is pretty terrible, but it's, considered to be conveniently close enough to downtown for people to go back to the office, back and forth. If we move on to the next chart here, and this is the what I want to show you. So I did my search based on a few factors. There's at least 10 sales in that area and obviously sold over asking, so over 100%. So there you can see W01, and that's the High Park Roncy. You got 14 sales, it sold 8% over asking, and the average price was 1.865 million. Once you go to W2, a little bit north of that, north of Bloor into the Junction, there were 29 sales, a little bit more affordable, and that's between quotation marks. The average was 1.743. Now, once you go to the east end, so E01, it's 1.89. There were 14 sales at 3% over ask. E02, so that's the Plater Estates pocket north of the Danforth area as well. 8% over ask, 17 sales. And you can see the homes were more expensive at let's just call it 2.13 million. On E3, so that's the East York pocket there were 39 sales, a little bit more volume, 4% over ask, and it averaged at 1.382. So if you take a look at those 5 areas of the city, they're pretty much clustered around the core. So you got the downtown core, and then just outside of that, which makes sense, right? Because as people start downtown or work in downtown in the city, they want to be as close as possible to their workplace and avoid the very long commute. So they just go outside of the core into that Leslieville, Greektown, Plato Estates, the beaches area, and then on the west side you got High Park, Roncesvalles, and the Junction area, right? So that's where people tend to cluster, moving from the condo space into the freehold space to be close to work, and again, live in an urban setting in the city. Now, when it comes to the semi-detached, you can see the map here. It's pretty similar to the detached properties with a few additions. You have C10 and then W3. So C10 is central. That's the Davisville, Mount Pleasant and Davisville pockets. You're close to the Young subway line, Eglinton LRT. So you have access to transit across Eglinton, and you have the Young subway line. So very accessible transit-wise. And, that was another pocket, semi-detached, where there were multiple offers on top of the pockets where the detached properties were experiencing multiple offers. The one addition here on the west end is W03, where semi-detached properties were had multiple offers as well. So I'll show you the numbers. So W1, if we go back to High Park, Swansea area, Roncesvalles, there were 7 semi-detached, 8% over ask, averaging around 1.458, so 1.46. W2, so that's the pocket above Bloor, High Park North, and the Junction. There were 24 semi-detached sold, 14% over ask, and averaging just under the 1.3 mark. The W3, as you move up a little bit more north, you can see the price drops to just over $1 million, 1.02, 18 sales and 7% ask. So you can see as you get closer to the water, it gets more expensive. You move up north, it drops. Move up north, it drops. C10 is the Mount Pleasant, Davisville area. You can see there 12 sales at 4% over ask. Central is expensive, and you can see there at 1.67 million for a semi-detached, the average price for those sales. And then on the east end, there were 36 in Leslieville, South Riverdale area, 36 of those, 12% over ask at 1.41 million. And then 1.34 again if you go up a little bit more north, east, because that's the beaches there on Upper Beach, at 10% over ask, and 1.34 million. There were 13 sales. And then as you go up to the E3 pockets, there were 12 sales at 6% over ask at 1.03. So this is, you can see there again at E01, that's the closest to the DVP, to the core, down to the water at 141. And then once you go a little bit more east, it drops. When you go north, it drops. So again, as you get closer to the core, down to the water, the prices tend to be higher. If you're looking to buy a home in Toronto and you're wondering if you should buy a home in 2026 or wait, check out this video right in this corner up here. And if you want a specific data for a specific neighborhood that you're considering, reach out. I'd be more than happy to do the detailed analysis for that specific pocket, because as you saw in this video, some pockets have bidding wars, some pockets are sitting, and you can negotiate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.